There are 12 pairs of ribs are present in human skeletal system. That 12 pairs are classified into three types, that are first 7 pairs are true ribs because these are attached to the vertebral column on dorsal side and sternum on ventral side. These 7 pairs are called true ribs. And second, 8th, 9th, 10th pairs of ribs are called false ribs. False ribs are articulated to the 7th pair of true ribs. False ribs articulated to the 7th pair of true ribs. See here we can observe dorsally articulated to the vertebral column, ventrally to the sternum. That is also with the help of hyaline cartilage. So these are costal cartilages. The cartilage articulated to the ribs and sternum on ventral side. See first 7 pairs. So this is collarbone, clavicle, that is not included in the ribs. Remaining you can see first pairs of true ribs, and then second pair, like first 7 pairs of ribs are directly articulated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These 7 pairs of ribs, both sides, directly articulated to the sternum on ventral side. Almost all 12 pairs of ribs articulated to the vertebral column on dorsal side. All 12 pairs articulated to the vertebral column on dorsal side. Ventral side to the sternum, dorsal side to the vertebral column. Here, this is 8th pairs of ribs. 8th, 9th, 10th. You can see this is 8th pair, 9th pair, 10th pair. Here also. So this side 8th one, 9th one, 10th one. So these 8th, 9th, 10th pairs of ribs, 8th, 9th, 10th pairs of ribs. 8th, 9th, 10th pairs of ribs dorsally articulated to the vertebral column, like this, dorsally articulated to the vertebral column, ventrally articulated to the 7th pair of true ribs. Ventrally articulated to the 7th pair of true ribs. That's why these are called as false ribs. False ribs. Whereas remaining 11th, 12th, 11th pair, 12th pair. Here also 11th pair, 11th, 12th pair of ribs. 11th, 12th pairs of ribs are called as floating ribs. Floating ribs not articulated to the sternum on ventral side, which are articulated to the vertebral column on dorsal side. Dorsal side articulated to the vertebral column. Ventral side not articulated, freely floating on the ventral side, so that we call floating ribs. Right. So here we'll see ribs having two articulation surfaces on dorsal side. When it is attached to the vertebral column, ribs contains 2 articulation surfaces. we can see here when we are observing dorsal side ribs contains two articulation surfaces. Here it attaches here one articulation surface, here also one articulation surface, like this one and this one. Here see one articulation surface, one more articulation surface. On dorsal side ribs having two articulation surfaces. Ribs having two articulation surfaces on dorsal side. So that in human beings, ribs are bicephalic. Bicephalic ribs, it contains two articulation surfaces. You can see here it contains articulation surfaces, ribs. It's not clear. Here you can see ribs contains two articulation surfaces. Here one articulation surface, here one articulation surface. So that only human ribs are called bicephalic ribs. Human ribs are bicephalic ribs, right?